Also influence the starting point in the Gulf of Mexico, which would have big implications down the road. So the next 12 to 18 hours are really critical. And once we get past that point, our confidence will go even higher for an eventual end game here for the storm. But still expecting a major hurricane by Thursday afternoon and a very large hurricane. So even though this cone is getting a little bit smaller as we move forward in time, the impacts will extend well outside of the cone. A live look right now in New Orleans, where there is heavy snowfall, gusty winds, whiteout conditions in many spots, and some of that weather will be heading in our direction as we move into tonight and tomorrow morning. Winter storm warning remains in effect for much of the area, with a winter weather advisory southeast of there, advising you to stay home. Welcome back. Those storms continue this morning. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for eastern Duval County until 10 o'clock this morning, so about another 20 minutes or so, as there's been a pretty dramatic uptick in lightning with this storm now over Jacksonville's south side, centered primarily north of Bay Meadows and just to the east of downtown over Arlington. This is going to be moving east-northeast over the next half hour, eventually off the Atlantic coast. Yeah, they kicked my butt last time I played. I don't play a whole lot. Every now and then I'll play, but you said you haven't played yet.
I haven't played. I really enjoy watching.
Well, you're in the right place, though.
Okay.
If you do want to play, we can go out and play sometime.
Okay,
I've got two paddles. They've got lightning bolts on them.
Wait, you have paddles, so you are a pickleball official.
I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that good, though. But here's a good pickleball forecast. We're tracking a lot of sunshine today and temperatures that'll be rising. And it is pretty rough right now. Jacksonville Beach here on the First Alert Skycam network. We're a couple hours away from that time of high tide, so still going to get a little bit higher as those winds are still on shore now. But that surge threat, thankfully, is minimal, because very quickly we'll see that wind turn direction out of the west and southwest, and then that's going to help push a lot of the water away. Very strong winds, perhaps up to 95, 96 miles per hour here just north of the I-10 corridor in Columbia County. For reference, this is north of Lake City, so Lake City, you're fine.
We're just a couple weeks away from the start of the Atlantic hurricane season, and I'm live here in Lakeland with the hurricane hunters. You can see this big aircraft behind me. This is the plane that flies into some of the worst storms on Earth.
I actually found myself at a Charlie XCX dance party a few weeks ago.
Wow,
so I hope none of you saw me there, because I cannot dance.
I hope they did.
Yeah. Well, 20th annual one, by the way, too,
I know,
for
very
Dining Out for Life. So great stuff. So here's some photos from my visit this morning. Some of the event organizers just happened to be there. So happy to support this awesome cause, and you've still got plenty of time. Cocktail sounds nice right about now as we head into the 7 o'clock hour here pretty soon. Now, we are dry currently, and we'll be that way through the course of this evening. But you'll see well away from Florida. What this is doing, the larger the wind field especially, is going to push a larger swell envelope towards the coast, and that's what we're seeing this morning with wave heights that are already starting to pick up offshore at 3 to 4 feet. What's unique about this specific event, Deja, is it's been the same places for the last 4 days, and so it's just day after day of the rain and the storm threat, which today it's another day of that. So we'll look at the map here, and you can see all of the flash flood warnings early this morning across parts of the Mid-South, and even some severe weather this morning still. Every green box is a flash flood warning. Still tracking power outages related to the aftermath of Helene. Ware in Pierce County early this morning still almost entirely without electricity, and several other of our inland counties in northeast Florida and southeastern Georgia struggling with those power outages. So it's still very warm and humid outside, so those conditions still rather unpleasant out towards Interstate 75. But where we're seeing the heaviest of snow, sleet, and perhaps even freezing rain, places like Waycross, Blackshear, Nahunta, over towards Glenn County now, Brunswick, Jekyll Island, St. Simon's Island, possibly seeing some of that frozen precipitation sinking down into Camden County as well. And that's because our temperatures there are at or below freezing, and very close to freezing where it is currently raining. Fernandina Pride today up in Fernandina Beach, where it's going to be hot and humid area-wide today, so rising pretty quickly into the mid-80s by 10 o'clock this morning, upper 80s through noon. Look at the wind field for this. Garrett just showed you this a couple minutes ago. You can see those tropical storm force winds, shaded in yellow, extend over 400 miles away from the center of Nicole. The white lines is the cone. You can see it's very displaced from that, so we are guaranteed to see impacts from this all the way up to the coast of southeastern. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Trevor Gibbs. Heat, the big story this weekend, with feels like temperatures in the triple digits area-wide both today and tomorrow. And in many spots, that's going to come close to 110 degrees in the afternoon. So that's why I have a heat advisory in effect for all of North Florida and coastal southeast Georgia for those feels like temps, which will approach 110 degrees by the mid-afternoon. Actual temperatures approaching 100 degrees in many spots, the exception being the immediate coast, thanks to that sea breeze, which will provide some relief in the afternoon. So low to mid 90s up and down the beaches, but middle to upper 90s inland today with little relief from rainfall. Zooming that into Duval County and Metro Jacksonville, again, coolest temperatures at the coast where you'll rise into the mid 90s by noon and then cool off slightly into the afternoon as that sea breeze moves ever so slightly inland. But just a couple miles inland, that's where we'll see those temperatures rise into the middle and upper 90s today, feeling like 104 as early as 11 o'clock this morning. So be smart in the heat. Make sure you're taking advantage of shade, AC, drinking plenty of water, and staying inside if this is too much for you. Here's that hour-by-hour forecast showing those temperatures: 91 by 11 o'clock with plenty of sunshine, 96 through 3. And we'll continue to track those hot temperatures not only today, but the next couple of days, as those feels-like temps will be pretty similar today, tomorrow, and Monday. So you see the reds and the purples there, high to very high heat risk, which just means that if you're outside for an extended period of time without adequate water and cooling, you're at a higher risk for seeing some heat-related illnesses. Rainfall totals over the next several days will be higher, but not this weekend. So you see some greens and yellows here. That's from rain that's expected to come Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Not much in the way of any rainfall this weekend. Could see an isolated shower or storm Saturday. Today, dry for your Sunday, and then those rain chances start to pick back up by Tuesday and Wednesday, especially. That's here in your 7-day forecast with your weekend always in view. Stay cool this weekend, but otherwise it's going to be a nice one. Some good pool time as well, getting some relief from the heat there. Upper 90s in some spots by Monday, but a few storms to track, becoming more scattered by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and even into Friday of next week.